Hello, Cupcake. What a glorious day you've joined me again. I want to talk about, can HEX get to $7.55? And why could it get there? And what would we need to see? And we're going to speak about something different today. You know, many years ago, it was 2015 and 2016. Donald Trump was running for president, and then he won. He became the US president. And it shocked the world. And many people did not see it coming. It was such a crazy time all over the media. Really highlighted what was going on. Now, I don't have any political affiliation. I didn't care about politics. The answer's pretty clear, because we can't change anything. I thought it was obvious to everyone else, but clearly not. So, Donald Trump wins, and there's a lot of commotion going on. And I remember thinking back for the 1 to 2 years leading up to it. And I remember looking at the polls, catching up for 5 seconds and just saying, okay, well, you know, this Hillary woman, she's going to win. And then when she didn't win, I remember my heart sank like, oh my God, this is such a big shock. And then in that week, I started thinking back. To those 5% of airtime they gave Trump supporters on TV and stuff. And I remember what they were saying. And it clicked to me. And they said stuff like, you know, a lot of us do support Trump. We're just too scared to go out there and publicly say it. Now, when I heard this at the time, I remember hearing this a few times. It went over my head. I did not pay attention. Because I thought, of course you're going to say that. You want the guy to win. You're like, oh, everyone supports him with me, but they don't just say it. And I thought, woo, look at you, crazy person. So remember, this is going to relate to crypto. You keep it in mind. So here I was. I am the equivalent of a retailer paper hand, but for politics. I don't pay attention. I don't know who anyone is. And I'm sitting here, and this information hits me. And that was my conclusion. My natural conclusion was, well, I don't see the stats. I don't believe you. And I remember thinking like, you know, that's exactly what you want to believe, because you're in the bottom 10%. So you want to believe, oh, everyone's really like me, and you're just cuckoo in the head. I remember thinking that for like a minute, and then just went about my day. Never paid attention to it again. And then Trumpy Boo actually won. Wow. It's funny how everyone says in hindsight it was going to happen all the time, right? So, look at this. You know, before he won, there was a run-up and there was a lead-up. And there was so much negative press. And look at this. When he won, look what it says. Donald Trump wins presidential election, plunging the US into uncertain future. Okay? You think about this language. Uncertain future. There was a negative tone. So much hate. And look at this. Look at all these articles. I tried to look at Donald Trump's silent supporters 2016. All these articles. Trump champions, the silent majority. You know, here's this article. But what does that mean? This is 2016. The silent majority. You got to pay attention to this. This is very important. Okay? Very important. So, HEX, right? $7.55. In my previous HEX videos, you've seen, right? We have Ricardo Hart here. I call him the Donald Trump of crypto. He's hated and he's loved. Okay? Now, this is not by accident. If you come to crypto new and you come across Richie, you are going to think that's by accident. And I don't blame you, because you have to absorb the information given to you. I want you to know that this guy doesn't do anything by accident. Nothing by accident. His brain is like extremely logical, like so logical, it's inhuman. Everything he selects is by choice and for a reason. And I'm here to share with you this information because I'm not I don't like it when these other influencers, other people say, go and do your homework and go research for 15 hours and then come and talk to me. I hate those people. Why don't you, those people, just keep your mouth shut. Okay? I'm here to give you the information now. I have listened to easily over 30 hours of this guy, 50 hours. I've watched every single video and stream for the past 2.5 years, right? Every single one. And rarely he'll throw a gem out that reveals a bit how he thinks. And he talks about how, you know, polarizing people, you think they're just full of hated fans or people who hate him around. But no, when people polarize, you get two emotions. You get either the people who hate, and then you get the other side. Extreme love and devotion. And in crypto, we all know, to get the price to move up, to get the network effect to grow, to get the religion to form, to get the diamond's hands, to get all of that marketing and branding and push it forward, you need devotion and love. You do. Just like how Bitcoiners love Satoshi. Devotion. Because he never sold his bag, gave it to humanity. Just like how Ethereum people love Vitalik. Living independent around the world. Not living a frivolous lifestyle with luxury. Okay? You got to think about this. They need the love and devotion part. Without that, you're just going to be lukewarm in the middle. No one's really going to care. You're like, nah, he's all right. You know, he's rank 3, rank 4 on my list. I mean, I don't mind him. That's the worst thing you could ever hear. Oh, I don't mind him, right? If you're a young single man and you're out in the dating scene and a girl says about you, yeah, him, I don't mind him. Yeah, he's somewhere in the middle, right? You've lost the game already. I'll tell you right now, you're lost. So, Richard Hart, Donald Trump, polarizing. Everything he does is by choice. The silent majority. Now, I'm going to share with you more information. I am in various communities, Discord, Telegram. I've been to many places. I've seen a lot of stuff. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP Cardano, Doge, SHIB, heaps of different memes, the short-term stuff, the long-term stuff, the weirdos, the long-term haters. I've seen it all, man. I've seen all the communities, and let me tell you something. Richard Hart has silent majority believers. It's not the majority yet, but it's getting there. And I'm just feeding this to you right now. I am in multiple Discords. I just hang out from time to time and I browse. And I'm letting you now know, two separate people have privately messaged me. And on Discord, I block all the DMs. You have to, right? So they've requested a friend to be my friend. I've accepted. And they said, hey, man, I'm in this channel, right? I'm in this Discord. I'm not going to name them, obviously. And they'll say, hey, man, I'm actually in HEX with you. But I can't talk about it in those public chat rooms because of such and such, you know. He, she, they hate Richard so much. And they all say HEX is a scam and a Ponzi. And, you know, we'll get, like, excommunicated from the village. I can't really talk about it, right? They've said two people have said this to me. And then both of their messages, the conversation, you know, they've been going on for like weeks. The conversations both have these. They both thank me for getting bullish as HEX's price went down. And they said to me, you know, I always knew you're supposed to, but to actually see someone like me do it and like for them to feel it, it was much different. And they said they were actually inspired that I would not care what the majority of the group would say. Because you guys got to remember, man, I'm literally going into a village butt naked and saying, yeah, man, like I love Bitcoin, I love Ethereum, I love this coin, I love that coin. I think there's a place for all of them. And I like HEX. And they're like, whoa, what did you say? What did that guy say? Excuse me? You know, friends, I'm just going to let you know. I'm not going to name names, but I have been called immoral, unethical. I've been called somebody who supports a scammer. Everything under the sun, okay? All these like diplomatic words, right? And I've been called that. And I've asked these people saying this to me. I don't get angry. I don't really care, man. You text on the internet. Who the hell are you, right? So I will say to them, I'll say, are you calling me this because I went to Uniswap and I clicked into and buy a HEX logo? Are you telling me that right now? Because I decided to click on the HEX thing on my tab instead of, say, Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever coin, you're calling me like a scammer and unethical and immoral. And they'll say yes. They'll actually say yes. I was like, what? What? I'm on Uniswap. I've clicked on this little logo. You're calling me immoral because I clicked on this thing. And they say yes. They actually do say yes. This is actually the funny part, right? So then I realized you're dealing with someone, they've already made up their mind, okay? So 2 times, 2 people thanking me for getting bullish as I went down. And it reminds me exactly of the silent majority of Donald Trump. So if you're listening to this, you got 2 perspectives. You're going to say, oh, well, yeah, of course everybody says that. By the way, if you listen to some HEX streamers, they've said this too. If you are not in the HEX and Pulse Chain community, if you are not seeing this network grow and you're on the outside, let's say you're a Bitcoin maxi or an Ethereum maxi or whatever you are, you will see this information just like I did see the Donald Trump supporters back in 2015 and 2016. You will see that information. You'll say, these guys have literally lost their mind. Like they think everyone is just dying to come and buy this thing and join the community, right? That's the exact perspective I had back then. And yes, the answer is true. So I've also had friends messaging me, hey, if what you say is true, like, why isn't it happening now? I've seen a lot of people exposed. I've seen everyone on Twitter. I saw the outrage marketing. So this is my friend saying it to me. We saw the outrage marketing. We saw Richard twerking. We saw HEX, Pulse Chain spammed. Look, they even made it to, crypto banter show here and there. Okay, there's memes. Here's Ricardo, female heart. There's these memes going on. They made it around. They go, but nothing's happening. And I have to reiterate. I go, you are thinking like a smarty pants. All right? Smarty pants overthink stuff. The average person is redacted. All right? The average person is not paying attention to any of what I say until you print green monthly candle. Okay? So I don't know when you're going to watch this video, but there's 2 green monthly candles here. Okay? Now people are starting to be like, oh, wow, look at this guy. Oh, wow, maybe it goes up, maybe it goes down. Now people pay attention. What changed? Nothing fundamentally changed. You just got a green monthly candle to repeat after one. That's it. 2 green monthly candles. I've made videos about this. Yes, it's actually true. The monthly candle color summarizes everything. It summarizes everyone's mood. I'm telling you, price go up means so much more than people care to admit. From Bitcoin to Ethereum to everything else. Okay, price go up matters most. So, I've given you some information here. I'm now, this is me. I'm a satellite. I'm like reading this info. I'm like, that's so strange, man. I'm seeing these people on the floor saying, look, they're reminding me of these HEX these Donald Trump silent majority supporters. It's taken me back. Like I'm having flashbacks. I'm like, man, I wonder if there's other people listening to this who see this and they're exactly like me back then, thinking like, these people are delusional, man. And then I would go one step further and then I'll go, all right, what's it going to take for them to switch their mind? Well, look what happened with Donald Trump. He had to win. He literally had to win, friends. Then people would said, oh my God, right, okay, maybe this like one side of the political spectrum went too far. It is corrupt. Maybe it is fake news. Okay, now people pay attention. After he won. Think about that. So, how are people going to react if HEX is much, much, much higher? What if HEX breaks the all-time high before many other crypto? Is that when they're going to pay attention? Or HEX actually hits $1? I can wait for HEX to hit $1, never make a video again, and then come out here, flop my generals out, show you how fluffy my socks are, and then brag about it. But that's not going to help anybody. I didn't come here to do that. I'm here to help you. If we can help that one person just DCA a bit stronger or hold a bit longer, then my job here's done. Just one person. That's all I care about. I know people that were probably thinking of selling, HEX at 10 cents. And I'm telling them, hey man, maybe you can ride this to $1, $2, $3, $4. Maybe. Okay? No guarantees, but maybe. So, it's not just a squiggly line on a chart. Look at this information we're presenting to you. You don't see this in other communities. You don't see a silent majority of Bitcoin believers and Ethereum believers. XRP, Cardano, Doge, SHIB, Polkadot, Kusama. Do you see any silent majority impact thing going on here? No, you don't. Okay, it's all out in the open. So this is a unique edge. And I want to take you back and look at this article, man. It has a negative tone. Plunging the US into uncertain future. I wonder what the mainstream YouTube influencers of crypto will be saying if HEX gets unbanned from CoinMarketCap and we actually go to top 10. Oh my God, they're going to fume. Oh my God. I'm just thinking about it right now. Wow. Euphoria. That might actually be the top signal, by the way. But that would be absolute... Oh my God, they're going to be seething hatred. Seething hatred. If only there was a friend out there who could tell them that they were all top signals and he was posting on Twitter 15 times a day to let them know they are top signals and to sell the top. If only. If only. Okay. So, can HEX get to $7.55? This Richard Hart, Donald Trump edge, it's good, but it's not enough alone. We know at the end of the day, we need numbers. So this is Mr. Gerardo, created lookintohex.com. But, when I saw Look Into Hex, right, this website, I'm like, man, this is really cool. Really cool that the community is doing stuff themselves. All right. This is something you got to understand as well. This is part of religion. Okay. People are doing it themselves. They're not waiting for, Richard to do this stuff. Okay. And I know this because Richard's message in all his streams are you do the work yourself. He's always saying that. And I know from CEOs and companies, right? In a company, if the CEO is one way, everyone's like it trickles down. It really does. If the CEO is hardworking, look at Elon Musk. He's like, that's it. We're working 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. You're not going home. Everybody in there suddenly smartens up. But when you have a hippie with a nose ring rolling around yeah, dude, eat your vegetables, dude. We're going to block your political opinion, dude. And everyone's just like a weirdo, right? You see what happens? It's the same thing with this. It's the same thing with crypto founders. Everybody's a reflection of the crypto founder. So, we need numbers. HEX has 150,000 stakers. I think we can get to 1.5 million. We can 10x that. But now we're in a bit of a pickle. Because you have to decide at what point do you want to start measuring from. Okay? Because, look, it's hard. It's hard. I have rough estimates of fair values as a snapshot in time. And this is only a guess, and we're just throwing darts at the board. We are. But look here, in 2020, this fair value, half a penny. In 2021, went to 7.3 cents. And now it's 11.8 cents. So the fair value goes up just because the number of users keeps going up. But the price doesn't react that much because, that's how markets move, man. We're never at fair value, basically. Fair value is always drifting. It's always fair value somewhere and the price is always too high or too low, okay? So in crypto, and obviously we go so euphoric and there's so much fear. Now, the 2021 fair value is 7.3 cents. I got to roughly now, it's 11.8 cents. And all I did was I just grew the price by using Metcalfe's law, matching what the fair value was from 2021. Because we're up to 150,000 stakers now. More people have been buying in the past year and a half as everything's been going down. So, you got to remember, the price, future price, is just a function of how many people there are. So, all of these are pie in the sky. With PulseX, PulseChain, they're all pie in the sky. Because I sit here and I tell you, all right, we will get 10x the users, you know? Like, who's to say? What if we only get 8x? What if we get 15x, you know? So if we get 10x the users, we get 100x price. But what if I'm wrong and we get like 16x the users? You get 256. Think about that, from 100x to 256. That's a lot, man. That's a huge difference just by toggling that. One of them is landing at, you know, it's just nuts. It's nuts. One of them's landing at like 1.5 million people. The other one's landing at like 2.235 or whatever. That's how much the numbers can change. But you don't even get to participate in that if you're not aggressive in the depression. If you are waiting for those numbers to start coming in, then you're doing everything wrong. And you haven't paid attention to anything in crypto at all. So this is where we get cute. Where do you want to measure your guests in the future? So if we have 150,000 stakers and you say, hey man, I think we can get to 1 million, right? So you get, if you think we're going like 8, let's say we can 8x that 150,000, you get to like 1.2 million. Why this number? Well, you know, SHIB got to 1.2 million in 1 year. SHIB went from 1,000 users, then it hit 10,000, 100K, then 1.2 million, all in 2021. I marked it, I recorded it. That's why it did the gains it did. It got to 1.2 million people to buy a picture of a dog that's meant to compete with another picture of a dog, which is Doge, that literally does nothing. Okay? 1.2 million people from 1,000, man. We've never seen anything like it. So, if they can get to that number, why can't HEX, man? You know? Why can't HEX? I'm not saying it's going to happen in a year. I'd love it to. But in a few years, 2025, 6, 7, don't care, man. As long as it comes one day, right? That's all you can really hope for. So if we got to 1.2 million people, that's 8x the user base. Maybe you get a 64x. And then you can decide, where do you want to measure the 64x from? Like, do you say, okay, you know, fair value is 11 cents today. So if you do around 11.8 cents, that's where you get your $7.55. That's just me measuring off that. But this is all moon maths. Because someone conservative might say, hey, let's do our 64x from the very, very, very low, which was 1.75 cents. You will get $1.12, you know. So I just want to let you know as well, my final message. If you're looking at $1.12 HEX and you want to scoff and spit and vomit, you're like, oh, that's so low, dark, yuck. I'm letting you know, okay. Firstly, me and you can't control it. Okay. And secondly, if you are upset at that number, it means you don't have enough. Okay. So if you are upset that HEX goes to $1.12, which is, let's draw it here, right? If you're upset HEX goes to $1.12 and then drops back down to 15 cents, if that actually really viscerally upsets you, you don't have enough. You're not long enough. I'm just letting you know. Okay. Because, like, for me, 10 cents, man. I can quit now. I can basically quit now already. So I'm just letting you know, okay? Just relaying it to you. And if you're not happy at $1.12 and you're praying for $8 to $9, like, I want $8 to $9 come more than you can possibly imagine, all right? But I'm just letting you know that's a very dangerous position to be. You don't want to be Bitcoiners at 100K praying for $1 million. Okay, Bitcoin people. When I tell Bitcoin people, Bitcoin maxis, I say to them, you know, you have to get out half your position at Bitcoin $90,000, right? Like, do you want to sit through another 4-year bear market? What if you get like robbed and scammed again, like the rest of us? They lose their minds. They're like, oh my god, what did I just say? I did some that's bad anti-community talk there, okay? To say that, to even mention that. That's, wow. So, and that's how I can tell, oh, this person's underexposed. They're not long enough. They're not aggressive enough. They haven't put enough of their savings in because they're upset that Bitcoin stops at 90K in this scenario, you know? But you know what's going to happen? Anything can happen. Look what happened in the previous bull market. We all thought 100K. And then it stopped. Straight down to 15. which is actually interesting because nobody learned. All right. No one learned, friends. That's the interesting part. What happened in 2021? No one learned from the Bitcoin Maxi community. No one said, oh my God, man, this thing, the S curve is diminishing and we're slowing down. Nobody said that. Do you know what they say now? They say, well, we stopped because SBF and FTX were scamming us. They were selling paper Bitcoin. Do you really want to take that risk, man? I hope you're right, man. I think they're right, but do you want to take that risk? If you're listening to this video, you understand that, we're here. I'm here 16 hours a day. Don't waste your time with the crypto index. You're not going to retire, man. We're not early anymore. Ethereum's going to be 10 years old. Bitcoin's 14 years old. Okay, we understand the game. So we know now what we need for $7.55 HEX. We need this number just to keep going up. We need it to keep going up. You see this 1 million here? This is what we actually need. You actually got to see, I have this line drawn here. You have to see this line. So here's a million all the way here. We're going to have to see this line just keep going up. Keep going up. And I know I'm drawing it very slow. Remember, this was a bear market. Okay, and this was, you had some accelerating kinks up here. So you can change the trajectory, right? Wouldn't it be nice if 2-3 years it starts going like this? That's 1 million. That's your 64x. And look, it's pretty good, man. I mean, the worst case was $1.12. That's some pretty good stuff. So, you know what to do, friends. If $1.12 HEX upsets you, and even drop it a bit. If 70 cents HEX upsets you, if that actually really upsets you, you got to get a second job. You got to sell one of your mittens, just one, okay? You have to think about anything around the house you can sell. You've got to dip more into your savings. That's the market sending you a signal here, okay? So you do what you want with that information. Until next time, friends, I love you all.